Hello, Mr. Mailer here, your online math teacher. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be continuing my video series on TI tips, and in particular we're going to be looking at how you can use the inverse norm function in your TI-84 calculator. So if you find this video helpful, consider smashing the like button, subscribing, and let's go. So there's two types of problems I'm going to look at. First is if you're just looking at a typical standard distribution problem. You know the area under your curve, but you don't know the x value or the z-score that's going to correspond to it. So here I have a normal distribution with a mean of 5 and a standard deviation of 0.05, and I want to know what x value will have 61% of the data less than or equal to that value, or less than that value, doesn't matter. So what I can do is I can go to my calculator, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to distribution. So it's this little blue word above the variables button. So I'll hit second, then variables, so go to the distribution menu. Then I will scroll down to inverse norm. And when I bring this up, it's going to prompt me for an area. I want 61% of the area to be to the left of my value. So I'm going to write 0.61 because the area has to be entered as a decimal here. I need to enter my mean for mu. So here my mean is 5 in this normal distribution. And my standard deviation is 0.05. So 0.05. And on the older calculators, it only allows you to do area to the left of a number. The newer calculators, you can play around with it a little bit more, but the default is left, so you'll usually keep left highlighted here. So once I've done that, I can then say, hey, paste it to my main screen. I'm going to hit enter, and it's going to tell me about 5.0114 is my number here. So this is x value is about 5.014. So this is what my calculator tells me. And again, if you're going to cite this, your calculator as work, if you're taking, say, an AP test, for instance, make sure you're using appropriate notation. So inverse norm, you're going to need to write that the area you input was 0.61. You're going to have to write that your mean, in this case, was 5, and your standard deviation was 0.05, and then that will give you your x value of 5.014. So make sure you're citing work appropriately if you're taking a test like the AP exam. Now, the other way you might want to use the inverse norm button is if you're looking to get a critical value. Maybe you're doing a confidence interval problem for proportions, and you are looking at a 98% confidence interval. If that's the case, you'll be looking at a picture similar to this, where 98, you want to find the critical value Z star, where 98% of your data is between plus and minus that value. So what you need to use here is the fact that if we want 98% confidence, 1% of the area is in each of these tails here. So I can use my calculator. So I can go back to my inverse norm function. So my inverse norm function is right here. I'm going to want an area of 0.01, so 1% in the tail. And I'm going to put it back to a mean of 0 and a standard deviation of 1 because I'm back in my standard normal distribution. Again, older calculators only can do area to the left. Newer ones will give you these options. So we're just going to keep it set to the left just like an older calculator would be. And then you can bring it down and paste this to your screen. And this will tell you that the lower, so negative, your critical value is negative 2.33 roughly. So what we have here is a value of negative 2.33. So the critical value is about positive 2.33. And then you'd be good to go. Again, make sure to cite the appropriate thing if you're going to use this. And this is the general idea. And you could always, with the newer calculators, play around. You don't have to get the negative value. Had I gone into inverse norm and decided I wanted area to the right as well, because that right tail also has 1% of the data in it, I could have selected right and then pasted it, and it would just give me the positive version of this. So no different really if you have an older calculator which gives you the area to the left, it just gives you the negative value. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, smash that like button and have an awesome day.